And welcome back to the Vetchfield Swansea, right on cue for the national anthems of these two nations. Verse or two, but that is the moment that they live for, the Welsh Rugby League team. And Jonathan Davies knows better than most exactly what this match means to everybody out there on the field and on the terraces. Gary Freeman, the New Zealand captain, Davies's opposite number. 34 consecutive tests since his debut against Australia in 1986. The formalities are not yet complete because, of course, the Welsh will shortly have to face the New Zealanders as they dance the haka. The Welsh team: Ford, Caudle, Bateman, Devereux and Sullivan, Davis, Ellis, Jones, Barry Williams, Young, Marlowe, Phillips and Jonathan Griffiths. And the New Zealanders, getting last words of encouragement from their captain, Gary Freeman, have Morven Edwards, Halligan, Rapati, Taiwa, Hoppy, Namu, Freeman, Lomax, Mann, Stewart, Kearney, Pongia and Mackey. Here comes the haka. It's the formalities first. Jonathan Davies and Gary Freeman called to the centre spot. Substitutes for Wales: Adrian Hadley, Gary Pearce, Peter Williams and Rob Ackerman. Ackerman, who retired from professional rugby league, playing these days for the Cardiff Institute. And for New Zealand, it's Mark Nixon, Logan Edwards, Jason Williams and Robert Peaver. Match referee from England, John Connolly, referee of the year. Welsh are in a huddle as the Kiwis perform the haka. The Welsh taking no notice whatsoever, in a huddle and receiving words of encouragement from their captain, Jonathan Davies, no doubt. Quite a match in prospect here then. The start of the Kiwis tour, and Steve-O, big day for John Devereux. Will his knee stand up to this?
That's a big question. A lot of questions being asked today. A very young New Zealand side out against the Welsh outfit. Tension, the pressure, nerves will play a big part, especially in the first 5 minutes.
Morven Edwards, the New Zealanders full-back, deputised for Matthew Ridge in the Australian series during the summer. Deputised very well indeed, formerly with Swinton and Leeds, of course. So it's Jonathan Davies who will get this international at the Vetchfield in Swansea in progress. A big test for the Welsh, bearing in mind that New Zealand have been placed in the same group as them, Group B, for the 1995 Centenary World Cup tournament that will be staged in this country. Wales almost holding its breath as the Kiwis get through their first set of 6. Of course, when the crowd here at Swansea will come alive, as Kearney makes a good run down the middle, is when the ball is in Welsh hands, as it will be now, hopefully after that kick forward by Freeman. Here comes Phil Ford. He went straight over the top, and New Zealand are all offside.
The centre Tiwa there, man in front of the kick from Freeman. Referee Connolly, there you can see it, just a yard in front, running into the picture. There you see Ford going right over the top. Tiwa, the centre, making no attempt to try to get that ball.
Now here come the Welsh for the first time. That's David Young. Williams, the dummy half, to Marlowe, and that looked a bit high by Kearney. But the big Welsh forwards prepared to slug it out with them. This is Williams. He caught one there from Morven Edwards.
Swinging left arm there from the fullback.
Griffiths turns the ball back to Roland Phillips. He really has been running strongly this season for Warrington. The Welsh so close now to the Kiwi line, but Ellis makes a hash of that, but it wasn't the best pass in the world.
Well, we mentioned the fact that the nerves would play a big part. Loose forward Jonathan Griffiths, not the best pass. Going downwards there, the halfback Kevin Ellis. Interesting to see how New Zealand will play this, use their forwards.
That's a good run, and this is the winger, Sean Hoppy, who I'm sure the Welsh have done their homework on. He's a speed merchant. Second rower, Quentin Pongia, strength, tackled by Phillips. Oh, and lashing out was Pongia on Bateman. Bateman getting on with it, and Wales have the ball back. That was good play by Bateman. He wasn't sucked in, and that's a great run from Phillips.
He did the right thing, Bateman, got out of the way, but that really was lashing out with the right boot by Pongia. Very dangerous play. But it was interesting at that scrum win there by the New Zealanders, the inexperience of Jonathan Griffiths. He peeled off the wrong side and left the gap.
Yes, that could be vital. Griffiths playing at loose forward for the first time in his career. Here he is now in possession, slipping on the Vetchfield turf and buried underneath the tackle of Jason Mackey. That's the last tackle for Wales. Williams, the dummy half. It's back to Davis, who no doubt will kick downfield. aiming for the corner. The ball taking a nasty bounce over the top of Hoppy, but finding touch, but only behind the Kiwis' try line.
No chance for the big winger, Sean Hoppy, get anywhere near that. Quite a blustery wind, probably to the advantage of the Kiwis in this first half.
Yes, and it strikes me, Steve-O, that the crowd here in Swansea, who are normally so vocal and vociferous, just waiting to see how this match pans out in the early stages.
Well, it's an unknown quantity from both areas. The tourists, of course, they've only had a few days to get together. And it isn't as though that the Welsh coach, Clive Griffiths, has had a lot of time to get his squad together either.
It was a long ball out from Freeman to Namu. Namu, he missed the pass, but he got the tackle in.
Yes, well over the top there, not much chance. It's to be expected, very nervous opening. It always is on the first game of a tour. And the Welsh players, of course, in front of their home crowd, they're so desperate to play well.
That's David Young, the man who took it up then for Wales. Williams gets the ball to Marlowe. Ian Marlowe now earning his corn at Wakefield Trinity. Having begun at Hull, this is Barry Williams. Wales making progress in their set of 6. They're just 10 metres now from the Kiwi line. Davis with the angled kick. Oh, and that's a good save by Darrell Halligan. Bounced off the knee of Freeman. Could have been a little bit dodgy.
Good positioning by Halligan, the North Sydney winger. Could see, anticipated that the ball was going to be kicked back. Also good tactics by Jonathan Davis. They expected to try to run across and kick across, but they kicked back.
And now Sean Hoppy. But Phil Ford wraps him up. That's good tackling by the Welsh fullback. Right on the halfway line. Gary Freeman takes it over for the Kiwis. Good tackling by Caudle. Caudle, of course, remember that last time he played an international here, he broke his jaw. Big psychological barrier for him to get over. Kearney with a lovely ball to Pongia. Pongia running, turning them inside out. Good pass inside to Mackie, and good tackling. This is a great attack from the Kiwis. The ball now with Namu, but over the top. And do Wales have it back? Well, there's a lot of indecisive play out there, but I think knock-on will be the decision.
Just a little one there, you can see it off the centre, Ivor Rapati. But that was a beautiful piece of play by the 2 second rowers. Steve Kearney went round the man and popped up the pass to Quinton Pongia. They're finding a few gaps in this Welsh defence.
That was a full-blooded run from Mark Jones, and it was stopped by John Lomax. Here's David Young.
Kiwis certainly mean business. You can see in the forwards there, especially John Lomax. He's really put in some crunches.
Ellis. Yes, the Kiwis only arriving on Monday, and Ellis trying to get to his feet was interfered with by Kearney.
Well, he tried to rip his head off, didn't he? There you see, it's a flop on the top, and then here's the second tackle. Can't do that. It's a fiery customer, the second rower, Stephen Kearney. Really gets into the game very quickly.
Good long kick, though, by Davis from that penalty. Takes the Welsh again into Kiwi territory. David Young, the runner. Well, the Kiwis are certainly feeling the weight of the 2 Welsh prop forwards, Young and Jones. Feeling that perhaps the Kiwis might be a little bit cold, but Mark Jones then just couldn't hold on to that pass. First match of a tour, Steve-O, for a visiting team, always important, and the Kiwis obviously will be wanting to make some impression with the first test against Great Britain now a week on Saturday.
They really haven't got a great deal of time, so they've got to get into this game quickly. And I really think it's going to be down to the experience of Gary Freeman, the captain, of course, the halfback, and of course Dwayne Mann, the hooker. This is a very, very young Kiwi side they put out today.
The kick downfield from Halligan was just too strong. Even though this wind is swirling, that seemed to catch the breeze and just went dead in goal. So it will be a Welsh restart on their own 20-metre line. Ian Marlowe with the first drive down the middle.
Very impressed, though, Eddie, with the way the Kiwi defence is moving up quickly. Look, you can see they're driving the Welsh back. They're not allowing Wales to get over that advantage line.
Ellis. Ball to David Young. And dumped to the ground unceremoniously. This is Ellis. Now Davis. Bateman on the run around. But the Kiwis were waiting for him. He got away from one. He got away from two. And he jigged round the third. Slipped the pass. But unfortunately it went to ground. The New Zealanders back in possession.
Well, after all that good work, he really should have kept possession there. Griffiths was halfway through the break, but there was a man upon him.
And this now is Morgan Edwards. He has support from Namu. Namu has got to go round Ford. And Ford again stands up to the challenge with a bit of help from Davis.
That's going to be a penalty. Ford through the right forearm. Namu, the young standoff from Manly, gets the ball, trying to step inside. It's a desperation tackle from Phil Ford, but when he's done that, look at that. Luckily, the ball was on the top of the head of young Namu. Otherwise, that could have been a lot more painful. Silly penalty to give away, but it was a desperate tackle.
Yes, he did all the hard work in stopping him, and then, well, really silly with that forearm. And with a man like Darryl Halligan on the field, Steve-O, you really can't afford to give away penalties like that within shooting range.
Yeah, this is a man that so often has kept out, would you believe, Matthew Ridge and Frano Botica from the kicking duties for the New Zealanders. That gives you some indication as to how good a kicker this man is. Darryl Halligan, of course, for North Sydney, popping him over on a regular basis in the Winfield Cup competition.
Yes, he has topped the Winfield Cup points charts in each of the last 3 years. 180 in 1993, the season just finished. And when you think they have Botica, and they have Ridge, and they have Halligan, they are blessed, the New Zealanders, with superb goal kickers. That's the angle that Halligan has to open the Kiwis' account on this 1993 tour. He's kicked it, it just crept inside the post. 2-0. The New Zealanders underway on this 1993 tour. Steve-O, I just get the impression, you know, listening to the Vetchfield crowd, it's just a bit flat at the moment. The Welsh need to lift themselves and lift the crowd.
Well, all they've done is play one-out football so far. That's mainly due to the fact that this New Zealand defence is moving up exceptionally quickly. They really are racing through, and this Vetch crowd, they've always wanted, they've seen so much action over the past couple of years.
So the New Zealanders in possession, and let's see what the Welsh manager Mike Nicholas is making of it all. He's downstairs with Mark Wallace.
Mike, it seems like a tentative start from both sides, doesn't it?
At this stage where we're standing off them too much, and we're letting them run too much, and they're cutting us down the right at the moment.
What's your impressions of the Kiwis?
Impressed, very physical, fit.
That was a lovely ball from Rapati. It brought Halligan into it, and Rapati was there to take the return, but the ball goes to ground once again, and the referee says it's a knock-on, but a great run from defence again by the Kiwis.
Super play by Rapati, the ball out wide. And this is where there's a few problems in this Welsh defence. We've seen very early in this game, either Rapati and Fetu Tiwa, both the centres, they are finding a lot of gaps.
Devereux, his first touch, minor knee operation. This is his first game back after that. He played, remember, for Widnes on the big league 2 Fridays ago. Oh, and a great tackle, a real thunderous challenge on Mark Jones. Here come the Kiwis again. This is the centre, Taiwa. Oh, and that's good play by Davis. He saw that the winger Hoppy was just looking round. He got his boot to the ball and he got possession back, and the New Zealanders all offside.
This is what happened. You can see that Davis was thinking very quickly there. Just got the boot to it. He's allowed to do that. The ball's been played on the floor.
And he's done it again here. He's taken a very quick tap. Brought down by Rapati. I must say, Eva Rapati is the spitting image of his brother Tia, who plays for St Helens. And here's another St Helens player, Anthony Sullivan, dumped unceremoniously by former Warrington man Dwayne Mann. Mark Jones now, that was a bit high.
He's a tough customer, isn't he? The prop forward, John Lomax. That's about the third one he's put in.
Roland Phillips with the run. Lomax taking his place in the New Zealanders' defensive line. Griffiths takes it over again, finds Devereux.
They're being caught flat-footed, I'm afraid, Wales. They've got to stand a little bit deeper. They've got to run onto this football.
Williams dabs the ball ahead himself. Well, he was surely taken out there by Stewart. Stewart turned his back, and for me, he interfered with the man on the run.
Well, all he had to do is stand his ground. That's all he did. Prop forward, run into him. Nothing in the rule that says that you've got to move out of the way.
Little knock on by Hoppy. I must say, Taiwa and Hoppy, they look a formidable little combination.
Yeah, he just overran it there, did the the Canberra winger, Sean Hoppy. He's a big boy, but I've been very impressed by the two centres, Rapati and Tiwa.
Davis in possession for Wales, brings Devereux into it. And it doesn't look like John Devereux's knee has much wrong with it if he can stand the tackle like that. Barry Williams taking it on for Wales now. They're about 8 metres away from the New Zealanders' post. It's back to Ellis. Now to Mark Jones. Remember, the big prop forward barged his way to the line against the English here. Ellis again. Davis wants it, and Davis has it. Steps, tries to go inside Taiwa, but Taiwa stood his ground. Quarter of an hour of this first match of the Kiwis tour gone.
They're playing it very tough, the New Zealand forwards. Getting away with a little bit as well. They're coming in exceptionally hard.
Griffiths with a little drop goal, and he'll take the 1 point. Jonathan Griffiths, a 1-pointer, had all the time in the world.
Good thinking by the loose forward there, Griffiths. Excellent 1-pointer. Gave himself plenty of room. I think that's the message that's got to go out to this Welsh side. Because of this New Zealand defence coming up very quickly, they've got to move back. They've got to give themselves room to move. They've been running onto this ball, not running onto the ball. They've been taking the ball flat-footed.
Well, Daryl Halligan has got something on the back of his head. I don't know whether it's a cut. It is. The referee shows the red cross, the blood bin. His cut head is covered in Vaseline, but the referee wants him off the field to receive attention. And the running repair's completed. Halligan doesn't want to miss any more of this than he has to. Now that's caught in the breeze, and that's run out on the full. There's the... well, he's almost got a tub of Vaseline on top of his head, Daryl Halligan, to stem the flow of blood.
Not doing a good job either, it's really, but this is a bad mistake. A little bit confusing there for Daryl Halligan. The in-goal area at Vetchfield, very narrow indeed.
Jonathan Davis with the resultant penalty, and he takes Wales again up towards that Kiwi quarter line. And here's Gerald Cordell. Good run from Cordell, and eventually hauled down. There's plenty of needle on show out there. Cordell didn't like the challenge from Freeman. Griffiths to Ian Marlowe. And the referee says that the challenge from Freeman was not high. The penalty is given for knees.
You could see the Kiwi skipper there. Went on the shoulder, the arm just came up. It really wasn't anything there, but that was stupid of Freeman there. You could see pushing in the right knee. A lot of needle.
Not only that, Steve-O, he's back-chatted referee John Connolly, who now wants a word with the New Zealand captain, because he's been marched back towards his own line 10 metres for talking out of turn to John Connolly. And Jonathan Davis will take the ball back and have a shot at goal with this penalty, and could give Wales the lead for the first time.
Yeah, it's a lack of discipline there by the Kiwi skipper, Gary Freeman. Certainly wasn't called for. The tackle was completed. Should have been getting back to help the defence, but to give away a silly penalty like that. Has been known, of course, though, Eddie, over the years that Gary Freeman, plenty to say, likes to have a little bit of a chat. Maybe he should be better chatting to his players rather than the referee, John Connolly.
So Jonathan Davis is finally settled the position and the little pile of sand underneath the ball. Important kick this for the Welsh. Will give them the lead if he gets it for the first time today. And if the New Zealanders have Halligan, Wales have Jonathan Davis. And there was something said then by Freeman to Jonathan Davis as he ran away from that. He's certainly getting involved already, the New Zealand captain.
As I said to you, Mr. Freeman enjoys the chat. I think the journalists will look forward to Mr. Freeman on this tour. Not frightened to say a few things, pretty outspoken.
Great competitor, though. But that penalty count is climbing against the New Zealanders. Wales have received 6 and New Zealand only 1 from John Connolly. And that could well be the reason why Gary Freeman's not too impressed with the English official. It's Namu then who restarts underneath it. Roland Phillips. Here's Devereux. And the two of the Welshmen are losing their footing as they charge onto this ball. Misses out Griffiths, does Williams, and finds Jones instead. Midway through this first half then, and Wales ahead 3-2. We're at a soccer ground today, Vetchfield Swansea. That's a soccer score, isn't it? 3-2. Everyone in Wales and throughout the country just holding their breath to see how good this New Zealand outfit is. And I must say, the opening 20 minutes of the tour, Steve-O, they've been quite impressive, particularly, as you said earlier, in a defensive qualities.
Yes, as we mentioned, it's going to take them a while to sort of get into the swing of things on the tour, and that's perhaps the reason why they've made the break, but they didn't have the full support. That'll come to them as the tour progresses. But they don't have a great deal of time to build up for that first test, do they?
They've started the last 2 tours of Great Britain with defeats, Wigan in 85 and St Helens in 89. Their last opening match win was way back in 1980 against Blackpool, and that statistic really shows you just how times change in this game of rugby league. The ball, though, has come free. This is Anthony Sullivan, and his progress halted, but unfairly, it's another penalty for the Welsh.
Yeah, bad mistake by the loose forward, Jason Mackey. But there was a late tackle came in when Sullivan took the loose ball, stepped back inside. Brent Stewart, the prop forward, got a little bit excited. From Canterbury in New Zealand, there you can see quite clearly, young loose forward Jason Mackey took his eyes off the football, looking at the men coming towards him. Plenty of niggle out there, you can see clearly. Sullivan sets off, steps back inside, and here it comes. There it is, the swinging right and then finished off with the left.
So Wales in with a golden opportunity here as Marlowe drives it down the middle again and makes progress too. It takes 3 to bring him down. So close again, the Welsh. They need to turn this superiority into points. Jones with the try. Well held up. Williams going for the line on his own from dummy half. Jones adding his considerable weight to the proceedings. And the New Zealanders keeping them out, but they can only be centimetres from that line. Roland Phillips. Oh, and surely then David Young was almost tackled as that ball came out to him, but referee says play on. It's the last tackle. Williams with the outside of the boot, chasing it himself. And it was a good job that Halligan was there.
Good thinking by the hooker there. He caught them on the blind side. You could see that the Kiwis hadn't moved up quickly, but Halligan was the Johnny on the spot. He really did read that well. Good play by Williams, the Carlisle hooker. Look at that. Excellent play.
Drop out from underneath their own sticks. Not the best kick in the world, but it reaches halfway. But Bateman now will run it back. He couldn't get away, though, from Pongia. And the halfback, Namu, was in there quickly, too. Marlowe.
Well, I think the tactics now for Wales is to try to get this ball out wide. The forwards are finding out very quickly it's not easy to get down the middle.
And here's Griffiths. Marlowe's gone down injured. Pongia brings Griffiths to the ground. Devereux now. Great buzz of excitement whenever Devereux gets it, and he's through one tackle. Great run from Devereux. But it's becoming a bit of a rough house, and the referee Connolly has given Wales another penalty for another attack to the head.
Certainly a high tackle. Devereux coming on the inside. Swinging arms all over. Morven Edwards had a go. He went with his knees, then he swung, missed. There's plenty of this. John Lomax, the prop forward, was the first one that swung through. Touch judge quickly on. Don Barrett from Salford.
So another opportunity then for Jonathan Davies to increase his tally here today. Before today for Wales, 3 tries, 13 goals in the drop, 39 points. He's increased that tally by 2 now. And 55 points so far this season for Warrington. He started this new campaign brightly since his much publicised and some would say controversial move from Widnes.
Well, that penalty count is becoming a problem for the Kiwis. They've lost a little bit of discipline. They'll have to tighten up on that on the tour.
Davies with the penalty then. And the touch judges give him the benefit of the doubt. But Jonathan Davies makes it 5-2. Davies has never lost with Wales. He missed the defeat against England last season because of injury.
Well, they've weathered the storm well as Wales. New Zealand made 5 clear breaks in the first 15 minutes. They've got that defence working pretty well now. That's far too long again.
That's the second, isn't it? And this time it's Namu, the stand-off half. He's taken over kicking off responsibilities from Halligan, and he hasn't got his sights in yet.
Well, it was amazing. Halligan sent it across and said, look, give it to the youngster Namu. Hasn't got as much power in the kick. When they kicked off after the drop goal, that was fine, but bad mistake there again.
Maybe the New Zealanders think they're at Wembley already, Mike, where there will be big, wide open spaces for them. That first test, remember, at Wembley, Saturday, October 16th. The big league takes a rest that weekend to support the British team in their venture of going to Wembley. And everyone in the game hoping that it is a red letter day for the game in this country. Bateman had to apply the brakes, got the pass away, but Roland Phillips taking the pass from the big prop forward, Mark Jones, making no progress. Oh, Marlowe just took his eye off the ball, and the Kiwis have it back.
Well, you can see the difference. They are standing flat. They are not running back and full belt onto the ball. That is the problem.
This is Pongia. Good play from him. Halligan, though, is all wrapped up by Sullivan.
He's shown some nice touches, hasn't he, the second rower, Quinton Pongia.
Jason Mackey is the man playing the ball to Dwayne Mann. This is the prop forward, Lomax, trying to get the ball away. I think Wales have it back. They have. Good work by Jonathan Griffiths. They're too fancy by the Kiwis. Here goes Roland Phillips. Oh, and he swatted Gary Freeman out of the way then. And Ellis is dumped to the ground by Freeman. And it's just a little bit tetchy out there, Steve-O. There's a lot of feeling.
There was never going to be any love lost. You can see John Lomax in the background getting attention.
Good chip downfield. It's a race for Caudle. Caudle's going to score. Oh, did he get a fingertip to it? Referee says he did. Only just. I think it was the touch judge on the near side who nodded and kept.
Super play by the Welsh. Ellis, the long ball out wide, and Davies. Let's get it into the corner. That is a set move. The fullback Phil Ford was racing through, but the man that's going to get there first is Gerald Caudle. He just gets the fingertips to it. That's all that counts. The downward motion. But super play. For once, they got the ball out wide. You can see Lomax in the background receiving attention. There's no one at home. Marvin Edwards was left nowhere. There he is, far too late to come across. Excellent kick there by Jonathan Davis, and good finishing, albeit by the fingertips, but they all count. All 5 little fingers.
Just got the fingertips to it, as you say. Gerald Caudle, the try scorer. Great kick ahead by Jonathan Davis. And now Davis can try and add the extra 2, but this is a difficult kick. It's on its way. It's got a chance. It's there all the way. Oh no, they've wived it away. First of all, it looked like they gave it. The referee, I think, was standing behind Jonathan Davis, and it's the referee who's disallowed that conversion attempt. The touch judges gave it. The referee said no.
Beautiful kick here by Davis. Now, did it get the distance? Remember, he's kicking into a very strong wind. Well, that looked over for me. Definitely looked over.
Well, one touch judge gave it and one said no. And John Connolly took the decision and said he agreed with the man in the negative. Right, Wales then in control a bit, and that will be good news for one of the interested spectators, David Bishop, former Welsh international, who's with Mark Wallace.
It doesn't look as though you're enjoying life here on the sideline.
Well, not really. Hang on, I just got to watch this. There might be a try on you a sec.
Darrell Halligan just getting to it. A great race. But suddenly this match has increased in tempo, and suddenly the Welsh crowd have found their voice.
Well, the key to it all, isn't it? They couldn't get through the strong defence. The only way you can beat them is use the kick. They've scored 1 try, and we've seen it again. And they're catching this New Zealand defence out by doing that. Good tactics. You've got to think in this game. There was no point of just braying your head down the middle against this strong defence. Let's get the ball over the top and put them in a lot of problems. And that is what the Welshmen are doing.
Phil Ford then for Wales. Jinking and turning Phil Ford. And the New Zealanders, who started in a quite tenacious mood, are just a little bit rattled here that the Welsh have, in the last 10 minutes, taken control of this match.
Well, good play by their coach, Clive Griffiths. He's now asked them to go deep, and you can see how they're standing deep now. They're actually running onto the football.
Devereux gets that pass from Griffiths. We'll be back with David Bishop in a moment after this Welsh set of 6. Carried on here now by Williams. Good ball to Roland Phillips. He gets the ball away to Ellis. This is better stuff from Wales. Oh, but Ellis there dropped the ball, tried to release, and I think that hit a New Zealander who was on the floor.
Well, he went back to the rugby union days there. Kevin Ellis should have kept hold of that ball. But that's the type of play that we've got to see from the Welsh side. Stand very deep, get the ball out wide, the long ball, they've got the players, Davis and Ellis, they can do the link.
Well, let us link up now, shall we, again with David Bishop. He's downstairs with Mark Wallace.
David, as I was saying, you're not making a brilliant spectator here.
No, I'm more nervous than the lads. It's the worst thing I could be doing here. But seems to be going well after the first 5 minutes. He split us out wide a few times. But we've been in there half, and we got a try there by Gerald, and things are looking good. What's your impression of the Kiwis? Well, I mean, it's their first game of the season, first off tour. You know, you've got to expect that most of them are Australian players. But at the moment, you know, I think they might have taken us a bit lightly, you know, looking at it. But I think they can go up another gear. It's going to be really tough.
No doubt about that. David Bishop, who I'm sure, although he is retired, would love to be out there again this afternoon. But Darrell Halligan, well, he's found the stand behind the Welsh posts from the kick-off a couple of times, or at least once, and now with a legitimate penalty bang in front of the posts and just, what, 5 metres in the Welsh half, he has the opportunity to make it a legal kick this time. He knows he's got the distance, doesn't he? Has he got the direction? Yes, he has. No doubt that time. How about that particular kick? Wales 9, the New Zealanders 4.
Well, you can see how strong a kicker this man is, but strong wind behind him. A bit of a problem for the New Zealand coach, Howie Tamati, realising that Wales will have that strong wind to their advantage in the second 40. So therefore, it's vital for the Kiwis to at least get some more points before the half-time break.
It's only the 5th time a Kiwi touring side has played the Welsh. The first time that they have faced Wales on a tour in 42 years. It's almost even in the series at the moment, 2 wins apiece. So this is very interesting, this match, not only from the Welsh point of view and the 95 World Cup tournament in mind, but also with the Great Britain series. And this is a great run from Edwards, the full-back. And the Welsh are letting him run all the length of the field almost, and that's poor tackling, but that was a forward pass. And Mackie will be brought back, and Gary Freeman does not believe this decision.
No doubt about it. Tiwa, the centre, the pass to the loose forward, Jason Mackie. That was try time, but what a great run by the full-back, Morven Edwards. This was superb play. Hands off Bateman, hands off Jones, back on the inside. Look at the dummy, slips, still keeps going. Step again, the dummy on the inside. Davis goes low to take him. He had to.
And Davis the man in possession now, but Morven Edwards, former Leeds full-back, of course. What a run from him. We said in the build-up to this Kiwi tour, Steve-O, that Great Britain would be facing a formidable test in the 3-match series, and there's been nothing on show today. Remember, the British-based Kiwis are going to come into the reckoning later on. There's been nothing we've seen today that detracts from that view, but there's a bit of a fight going on in the back play, and the referees held the clock up.
I have to agree with you, Eddie. There's going to be a lot of toughness in the test matches. We've seen in this game so far that the New Zealand pack is extremely strong. As the ball went out wide, you could see this second row, Quinton Pongia. He really is a lively character. Not only is he keen to get into the attacking status of the game, he likes to certainly get in the defence. Throws a few arms and looks an awkward player, both to tackle and for the player that's carrying the ball also. There you see it. Quinton Pongia shaping up, and then they went through, and then he was joined by Lomax, tried to be the peacemaker.
Lomax, the man who was pulled out by the referee, but it's a penalty against the Welsh, penalty for New Zealand. So Darrell Halligan again with this opportunity to get the New Zealanders even closer to the Welsh score. Same distance, this one, but different angle.
Well, it's been desperation tackles really by the Welsh defence. They have scrambled well. New Zealand have made more of the clean breaks, but I'm afraid it's Wales who's taken the opportunity to get the points on the board, and New Zealand can thank their lucky stars that they've got a man of this ability on their side.
Kick's on its way. And another successful kick from Halligan. There's a warning here for Great Britain, I think. Don't give the Kiwis anything at all in the forthcoming Test series. and the Welsh should take that on board as well. They can't be giving away penalties from any distance with this fellow on the field.
It's amazing. I don't know what they do down in New Zealand, but they just seem to breed wonderful goal kickers. For years and years, they've just been churning them out.
So Jonathan Davies to restart, and the gap between these two getting ever smaller. 9-6 now, and the Welsh know they're in for a match. They knew that before this game started. Stewart with the good run. Penalties, Wales have had 8 to New Zealand's 3, but hasn't Daryl Halligan made the most of his 3? That was a forward pass then from Lomax. They brought Kearney into it. This is Freeman, and again Freeman. Good run. Now, was that one forward? Referee says no, it's Taiwa. Over to Rapati. Halligan hangs on. Halligan in the corner, but a foot in touch. Foot in touch for Halligan, but that was a sweeping attack.
He did well, didn't he, Halligan, to hang on to that. If he'd have had that first time, it would have been try time. Now, the feet was over. Long ball from Freeman there to the centre. Tiwa. He ran very well. He just held it nicely. Drew Jonathan Davies. Rapati threw an awful pass over the top. Now, the big thing is, was he in the air when he went over for that try? Touch judge there deemed that he certainly was.
So the Welsh escape. Williams to Jones. Into stoppage time now, and Wales have a 3-point advantage. They have possession too with Roland Phillips, but that's the last tackle in this set of 6. Davis will have to get the ball way downfield. And it was out on the full. Mistake by the Welsh skipper.
That'll be the turnover on the last tackle. Just a few inches to them, and this could be the last chance for the Kiwis in this first half. They've made so many breaks, Eddie, but yet they've still got to get a try on the board.
Dwayne Mann to Namu. This is the second row of Pongia, and he's found the loose forward, and it's Mackey who's got in this time. And they have made Wales pay for that poor kick from Jonathan Davies.
He's had a wow of a game, this second rower, Quinton Pongia. It is superb play. Get the ball out there. Look how he just sneaks through round the men. Beautiful time pass to the loose forward, Jason Mackey. He's got the strength. Well, for once, they've made use of the gap. Excellent play. Lovely ball from Namu. But you can see how Pongia comes onto the ball and steps through. Pulls in Bateman. The gap is there, and there's nothing going to stop this youngster, Jason Mackey. That's a super try made by the second rower, Pongia.
Remember in the first half here today, Mackey had 1 try disallowed for a forward pass. He was pulled back, and the line was beckoning. So the Kiwis have edged in front by a point. And this Daryl Halligan conversion, well, we'll see just how good he is now, won't we? He's not bad. Oh, great kick. Halligan, we can say it's buttock of the boot. It's certainly Halligan the hammer, maybe. So the Kiwis have snatched a half-time advantage. Wales 9, New Zealand 12. Halligan with the golden boot for the Kiwis, and Mackey try right on the stroke of half-time. Wales 9, New Zealand 12. So half-time here at the Vetch Field then, and Wales 9, New Zealand 12. The Welsh giving a good account of themselves in that first half, but then conceding the try to Jason Mackey right on the stroke of half-time, and Daryl Halligan is always a danger with the goal kicking. The facts of the first half, well, you can see just how much more of the ball Wales have seen by that tackle count. Scrums 4-1 in Welsh's favour. Penalties are 8-3 to Wales, handling errors 7-9 to the Kiwis. And so it's an important 40 minutes that lie ahead. Daryl Halligan gets the game underway. 12-9, the Kiwis lead.
The big advantage for Wales in this second half is that very strong wind. They do have one of the best kickers there, Jonathan Davies, and they really have to utilise that in this second 40.
And the forwards have to come up with runs like that from Mark Jones. That was Barry Williams. He gives it to Jonathan Griffiths. And Rob Ackerman has come on, and the man who has gone off is Ian Marlowe. And I rather fancy now we'll see Jonathan Griffiths come out of the loose forward role. We'll see.
Well, a little bit too strong there from Jonathan Davies, but that's the type of kick they've got to do. Hope that perhaps New Zealand make a mistake in their own half. Interesting fact, Eddie, in regards to the Welsh side, there's no less than 4 prop forwards playing for Wales, and perhaps that may tell late in the game.
Of course, some of these Welshmen obviously have designs on a place in the Great Britain side to face these Kiwis at Wembley on Saturday week. So it's an important match for a variety of reasons, this. Pongia offloads the ball well to Stewart. Stewart gives it to Namu. And Ackerman went down there, and he hasn't got up, Rob Ackerman. As this attack sweeps forward with Freeman, ball out to Pongia, he touches down, but no try. It's been ruled out.
Forward pass there, but once again we see the combination of the 2 second rowers, Kearney and Pongia, together. But that last pass going astray. And the Welsh defence were really caught out there. They must start getting low and tackling the 2 big second rowers. You can't allow 2 big guys like that, Kearney and Pongia, to run riot.
Rob Ackerman's only just come on at half-time, and he's already in need of treatment. Cardiff Institute player. There he is, you see.
Clash of heads.
Clash of heads.
The prop forward, Mark Jones.
Only just on, now playing his rugby league for Cardiff Institute. Retired from professional rugby league last season. But back in the international frame again. New Zealanders get the ball from the scrum. This is Morvin Edwards. Kevin Ellis going a bit high. And another clash of heads there, I think. Pongia. Kiwis trying to take full advantage of this win against the head at that scrum. Dwayne Mann to Clive Freeman. Gary Freeman trying to weave his way to the posts. Good defence. It was a great tackle by Devereux. Mann, Freeman, Namu, Pongia, quick hands, Hoppy, and they haul him down. So close, the Kiwis. Balls played out and then hoisted across the face. No one wanted that. Halligan will collect it, can't get round Sullivan, but that was great stuff from Halligan. Stewart keeps the movement going. Rapate is dragged into touch. But that's a great attack from New Zealand. They simply wouldn't let the ball die.
Now you can see Rapate trying to get this ball away. They're keeping it alive. They are building in confidence. And why shouldn't they be, with the way that the forwards are running forward very hard indeed. They're making a lot of ground, and they're doing some great tackling like that.
Yes, the Welsh forwards just haven't had the opportunity to run straight and run through this New Zealand defence. Jonathan Griffiths has gone into dummy half. He has Roland Phillips with him, but he chips the ball over the top. Griffiths, he's chasing it himself. Edwards is there, though. That's great play from the Kiwi fullback.
Wonderful play by Griffiths, but equal to the task as a fullback, Morvin Edwards. He's had a super game also. He timed his run to perfection. Super play.
Freeman. Then the second rower, Kearney. Really is a rough house, isn't he? The big, tall New Zealander. Brent Stewart bounces off the challenge from Ackerman, who stood his ground. Pongia. Good run from him again. Last tackle for New Zealand. With Freeman, he'll run it. And Freeman continuing the run, finds Rapati. That's a great try. Super New Zealand try, created by Gary Freeman and scored by Iva Rapati, the man who has his sights on a Kiwi Test jersey.
Well, it took the five-card trick to the Welsh defence. They expected a kick from Freeman. He just stutters and throws it. Goes riding through there, and I'm afraid it was bad play by Roland Phillips. But good finishing there by the centre, Rapati. He's a crafty halfback, experienced, been around a while. Look how he slows the pace and then throws the half dummy. Sweeps around. I'm afraid Phillips didn't move up. The gap appeared, the try is scored. Super play. Quick play of the ball. You can see a lot of the Welsh defence going backwards. Hold it, dummy, and there it goes. Super pass. No chance of stopping him. Forwarded, no chance. That's an excellent four-pointer.
Iva Rapati, brother of Joe and Tia, who both took part in Kiwi tours in the past. Darryl Halligan then, a 100% goal-kicking record so far. Another difficult kick, and this time into the swirling breeze, which just carries the ball in front of the posts. So Halligan's first miss, but the New Zealanders ahead 16-9.
You can see the man coming through there. He holds the dummy and the gap appears. Watch him go across. He has to move forward. You can't hang off him like that. That is super play by Freeman. The experience showing there.
So 7 minutes of the second half gone, and the New Zealanders have posted their second try. Mark Wallace has got some half-time news. He's been listening in at the coaches' discussions during the break.
Ironically enough, Clive Griffiths in the Welsh dressing room said that watch the New Zealand attack coming down the right-hand side. That's the dangerous area, and that's just what happened there. In the New Zealand dressing room, Howie Tamiti said to keep the errors down and to be patient, use the 6 tackles, because they're putting pressure on themselves.
Davis will try and put pressure on the Kiwis now, but Dwayne Mann knows all about him. This is Roland Phillips. Ellis. Davis dabs the ball through for Caudle. He's already scored 1. He's got 2. Great try, Caudle. Just what the doctor ordered. Such a difference for Gerald Caudle from his last international for Wales when he broke his jaw. That's his second try.
When you build a brick wall and it's solid, and that's what this New Zealand defence has been, there's only one way you're going to beat it. Let's get the ball through it and over the top. That was a well-rehearsed move. Excellent play by Caudle, and what finishing. The New Zealanders claiming that his foot had taken out the corner post. Interesting to see it again, but it was an excellent kick there from Davis. Caudle quick to get through to it. The point being, did his leg, the right leg, just take it out before he got the ball down. Pretty hard for the referee to decide. There's no doubt but the touch judge, they thought it was a try. Beautiful and well-worked move.
He's only played 1 big league game since that England international. That was against Oldham on Sky in September. But that is exactly what the Welsh wanted. Now then, if the Kiwis have Darryl Halligan, the Welsh have Jonathan Davis, and this is a vital kick. But he's missed it. Difficult conditions with this swirling wind for the goal kickers on both sides. 13-16.
Solid defence, look at that. This is how you beat it. Kick through. This is a wingman coming away. Excellent stuff. He was onside, right into the corner. Great try.
Just what Wales needed. And of course, as well as winning this match, it would be important psychologically for the Welsh to turn the Kiwis over with that 1995 World Cup Group B in mind. But it was in danger, and John Devereux rather slips again there, as he has done several times this afternoon. There was a danger, though, Mike. I thought that the match could easily slip away from Wales, but they've hit back and hit back strongly.
Well, it's all a matter of using your brains, isn't it? The two tries have come against this strong defence by using the kick, both from Jonathan Davies, and that is the key. I've noticed that the Kiwis do not use a second line of defence. They do not use a sweeper.
Here's Davies again, another little chip through. Freeman read it, though, this time. Phil Paul got in on Freeman, and
he really had to read it well, did Freeman there. Another kick over the top.
And Ford, I'm afraid, there lost his head completely.
He gets wound up for these games, doesn't he? Play the ball. Look at that. That is dangerous and stupid play. Well, he got away with it. I'm sure that the referee, John Connolly, will have a few words. That was dangerous play in my book.
And Gary Freeman has pointed out that the touch judge has come on and wants a word with John Connolly. Kevin Ellis thinks he's going to be feeding this scrum. And he is feeding the scrum. So here come the Welsh again with Devereux. I would think Widnes fans will be interested to see how Devereux performs here today after that knee operation. It's always his target to get back into this match, get back to full fitness for the Vetchfield. Williams the dummy half, Griffiths and Jones. Penalty against the New Zealanders again for a high tackle.
No doubt about it, but he came there with a shoulder. He's a carry to this Pongia. You can see he went for the ball and slid over the top. Either way, the one thing is for sure, that guy is going to cause a lot of problems on this tour to the other teams. He loves to get stuck in. He's had a wow of a game.
So as a result of that high tackle, Jonathan Davies has this penalty to bring them back to within a point. That's the angle he has. It's graphically illustrated for you there. And it's on its way. The crowd tells you that Davies has kicked another two. And Wales are back in the hunt of a match that looked in danger of slipping away from them at the start of this second 40.
A great kick and a great fight back. Well, as you said, Eddie, it looked as though the New Zealand side were beginning to take full control of this game.
But it's the boot of Halligan against the boot of Davies at the minute. And at the moment, New Zealand have just that 1 point advantage. Here's Barry Williams. Stuck to his guns has the Carlisle man. Normally a back row forward. Oh, but that was a wild pass. Mark Jones, a player in front of him ducked and it came through to him. He wasn't expecting it.
Well, Ackerman was supposed to get that and he just pulled away from it. Jones didn't anticipate it. I'm afraid you have to at this level.
So Freeman's feed, this scrum. They have possession with Mackey. Second rower is Kearney. Good run from him. Certainly the two second rowers, Kearney and Pongi, have made a big impression here. Man the dummy half. Stewart.
They've got to watch Freeman now. They've got to go to him.
But they mustn't forget that Dwayne Mann has it. But the Welsh will say thank you for that, because he gifted that possession back to them in the shape of Mark Jones.
Well, he was looking for support. There was a hooker man, and there was none to be found. There you can see, where are you all?
Ackerman never lets Wales down when he pulls on that red jersey. Quarter an hour gone, 15-16, just 1 point in it. Williams the dummy half, Ellis, and now Davis helps it on to Devereux. He gives it to Bateman. Lovely run from Bateman. Little half break, well tackled by Namu. Last tackle for Wales. They're in the New Zealanders' half of the field, with Ellis, who'll hoist the midfield bomb. Chases it himself, putting them all onside. That's good taking by Sean Hoppy.
Well positioned by Hoppy. He realised that the option was going to be the kick.
And that was a good tackle by Roland Phillips, and it had to be, but Hoppy brave with that take. This is Mackie, the loose forward, brought to earth by Mark Jones. Dwayne Mann's gone into dummy half. Here's Brent Stewart, trying to step through the challenge of Davis. Phillips finishes him off upstairs. Davis hangs on to his ankles. Now the prop forward Lomax. Last tackle for the New Zealanders. Mann's dropped it. And so too did Stephen Kearney.
Bit messy around the play the ball area there. Now did Jonathan Davis break away too sharply, but the ball had been played. Actually, the ball had not been played correctly in my book. No foot was attached to it.
It's the turnover, because all that happened on the last tackle. Here come Wales again, and they're being watched by a host of internationals today, amongst them Paul Moriarty of Widnes, out of the game, injured at the moment, but talking to Mark Wallace.
Paul, things certainly starting to hot up out there now.
Yes, you know, we struggled a bit in the end of the first half, start the second half, but it seems now we're running with a bit more purpose, and we're getting a bit more organised, and players are starting to settle down a lot better.
Seemed like there's a fair few fired-up Welshmen out there.
Yes, you know, we enjoy playing with each other, and, you know, we'd all die for each other, we know that. As you said earlier, I think it took us a while before we settled down, but I think we might be able to start believing within ourselves at the moment now.
David Bishop was saying he doesn't like sitting on the sideline. Is it the same for you?
Oh, it certainly is, you know. Though I think I've got used to it the last couple of years. It's days like today, obviously playing for Wales, you know, it's a great occasion. And to put yourself against all these players that play in the Winfield Cup, you know, it's supposed to be the hardest competition in the world. Well, I think our boys are, you know, putting themselves about very well.
It's a good contest, there's no doubt about that. This is Kearney. Kearney of Wests in Australia, and John Devereux moving away there and taking that tackle on Lomax of Canberra. Also, of course, saw service this summer in the Winfield Cup, playing for Manly. Freeman to Namu. Namu taking over again. Lovely ball. And it was just overrun by Taiwa. Otherwise, that could have been real problems for Wales.
Nice pass from Namu, but Taiwa there, you could see, just took his eyes off the ball. One thing I've noticed in the last 10 minutes is that the Welsh side, their defence has tightened up considerably. They're moving up very quickly. They're not allowing the New Zealanders any latitude, and that's what they've got to do.
Griffiths gets the possession and finds Ellis. He gives it to Caudle. Caudle's on a hat-trick. It had to be a good tackle, and it was, and Gary Freeman the man. There's no love lost between Freeman and this Welsh team. They're all having a swipe at him.
Well, Caudle and Freeman's just gone off in the background there, doing a bit of a waltz.
Davis, long ball to Phil Ford, who's now joined the line. Phil Ford running across the face of play. Can't get away from Sean Hoppy, though. They are fired up for this, the Welsh, no doubt. Jones with a strong run. And the crowd starting to get amongst them too, and that's a penalty because John Lomax, I think, swung a little right hook.
Well, did they swing at the ball while he was getting up to play the ball? I think you'll find that there's interference there. Just not allowing him to play the ball, simple as that. Laying all over the top of him. Just maybe perhaps a hint of a little punch, but there's been plenty of those. They certainly mean business, this New Zealand pack. They haven't come here for the Sunday afternoon picnic.
Wales have had 10 penalties and New Zealand only 3. I rather think that Gary Freeman and coach Howie Tamati will have something to say about that at the end of this match. And Davis now can restore the Welsh lead here. Well, it's kickable, isn't it? Bit of a wind behind him. The Welsh lead, 1 point in it. We've got a finish in prospect here. So midway through this second half, and Wales have the slenderest of leads. And here comes Phil Ford. Namu tries to get him, and he gets away from them. Finds Devereux. Devereux was tackled by Rapati. Ball comes free, and Kearney has it for the Kiwis.
Oh, that could prove a very costly mistake there. Drop ball from Devereux. The impact of the tackle shook it away from him.
Great tackle by Ackerman on Stewart. Dwayne Mann to Namu. He gets Pongia involved again. Freeman, always danger when Freeman has it. Mackey, ball turned back inside, they're in again. It's Sean Huffy. And the Welsh caught cold, and that mistake from Devereux as the ball bounced out on this side of the field, punished within minutes on the other side.
Well, I said it could prove costly, and it certainly proved me right. Nice run by Freeman on the blind side. Loose forward again, who loves to run out wide. Lovely pass back inside there, and Sean Hoppy the man to finish. But a good call there by the skipper Freeman, working the blind side. You could see that the Welsh defence had just held off enough for the loose forward. Mackey, who's played well out wide, and Hoppy in for the 4 points, and what a vital 4 points for the tourists.
Sean Hoppy, who has appeared in the last 6 tests in a row for New Zealand, scored a try in his debut in 1992 against Papua New Guinea. And so Halligan now with this conversion attempt. Another important kick coming up. And Halligan says to Jonathan Davis, anything you can do, I can do. 22-17, the pendulum swings back the Kiwis' way.
The important running of Mackey, pulls out wide, gets the 2 players inside, and that's where it goes. Excellent play. No chance of the sliding defence stopping Hoppy.
So the Welsh have it all to do again. Jonathan Davis will restart. Meanwhile, the New Zealanders have made a substitution, and Mark Wallace has the details.
Yes, New Zealand making their first substitution. John Lomax, the Canberra player, is coming off, and number 17, Robert Peaver from the Wellington club in New Zealand, is going on.
So Peaver comes on. He was a key figure in Howie Tamati's 1988 Wellington team, which ended the domination of Auckland. And there he is, straight into the action. Dwayne Mann to Pongia, tries to run straight through Bateman. There's a big heave on towards the touchline. Kiwi has the strength to stay in field and keep going. Freeman plonks one over the top. A chance now for Phil Ford passively to use a bit of that speed and that sidestepping ability of his. Here he goes. Good tackling Freeman again though.
Nice play by Ford. Stepping inside. That's the type of thing that they've got to do. I'm afraid the 2 wingmen, including this man, Anthony Sullivan, they've got to start searching for the ball now. They're uphill. It's an uphill battle.
Rob Ackerman. Bit of a step up for Ackerman from amateur football, isn't it, to the international scene, but he's acquitted himself well. And Davis's pass out wide looking for Sullivan was just a bit too far ahead of the St Helens winger.
Well, he opted for that long ball, but there's no chance that Sullivan could get to that. And really, it must be going through the brains again. They've scored 2 tries with 2 beautiful kicks from that man. That's what they've got to try to do again.
I say, when we see the players of both sides on close-up, Mike, there's plenty of scratches and cuts and cut eyebrows, bloody noses. It's been a real battle, this.
Well, it was always going to be tough. It's not tiddlywinks when you meet against a touring side. These youngsters here are really fighting for their spot as well for a test berth at Wembley.
Pongia, the man in charge of the football for New Zealand. Oh, Brent Stewart is not in charge of it there. Just couldn't get his fingertips to it. He spilled it.
No chance of trying to get hold of that. When you lose concentration and take your eyes off the football, that's the result.
Over the years, the Kiwis have played 253 games in the United Kingdom on tour, winning almost 140 of them. It's a success ratio of 55%. They have not a bad record at all when they leave the Southern Hemisphere and head up north. Roland Phillips, they're having a devil's own job to pull him down, and he gets the ball away nicely to Ford. Griffiths to Jones. Ooh, what a collision.
What a welcome party that was.
Davis gives it to Ackerman.
I've been very impressed with these 2 second rowers, Kearney and Pongia.
Davis hoists the kick. It's not the best. Straight up in the air, and down it comes. Morven Edwards is the man who gets to it first.
Super take there. You see lifted off. But you could notice the New Zealand defence, they held off. They made a shield for Morven Edwards to take that ball. That's good thinking.
Robert Peaver picks himself up. Dwayne Mann's the dummy half. Freeman to Stewart. Tackling Bateman. Well, the Welshmen will certainly run their red blood to water for this cause. Oh, and a big mistake there by Peaver. Got a hands of the ball, knocked it forward, and the man who touched it was offside. Penalty to the Welsh.
But unfortunate there. Peaver had no option.
Number 14, Adrian Hadley, the man who has 27 caps for Welsh Rugby Union, is going on. And Barry Williams of Carlisle, the number 9, is coming off. He's got a groin injury.
Meanwhile, Wales have a penalty that Davis has taken. And back they come again. Back to the danger zone. Davis driving his troops on for a big push up towards half-time to try and rescue this match for the Welsh. Ackerman with the drive in. I believe I said up to half-time. Of course, we have had the first half. It wasn't that forgettable, surely. Ellis to David Young. The Welsh are inching closer and closer still to that Kiwi line. Ellis, long ball again to Sullivan. They're asking a lot of Anthony Sullivan, and he does well then under the challenge from Halligan to stay in the field of play. Here's Hadley, first touch for him.
Well, the build-up play by Wales is good, but I'm afraid the last pass is going astray.
Davis will hoist the bomb, and Devereux, they're all closing in on Edwards, and how's he come up with it? No, the referee remains impassive. Devereux thought he had it, but the referee has wiped it out.
He's got them for offside.
Well, Davis was the first man in, and he was the kicker.
A lot of controversy about that one, but you can see 14 quite clearly. Adrian Hadley was offside. He never made any attempt to get back onside. And that's the reason why John Connolly has picked him out. He was definitely stood in front of the kicker, and that's a shame, really, because as you mentioned, it was good play by Jonathan Davies to put everybody on side, but you can't do it if a man stood in front of you first.
But the New Zealand kick for touch was awful, and they've made only 5 or 6 metres progress. So the nerves are there. Hadley will have to get away from Rapati. They won't have to get away from Stewart. That's good tackling. The ball's come free. Wales have it back. That was a great tackle by Hadley. And there's Archie-Bargy now.
Well, that's good play by the referee. He's giving them the advantage. He knows they're looking for the points. And that's a penalty.
Yes, the ball's definitely stolen there. Now, will they take the 2 here?
Well, there's plenty of time. There you see Morven Edwards interfering there. And that wouldn't have surprised me if the touring Kiwis would have seen the yellow card for the very first time on this particular tour.
Morven Edwards, though, is in some discomfort by the looks of things.
Took the full freight, didn't he? Went right underneath, and sort of the weight of him, you could see it there, but perhaps he got caught as he came through. His legs flaying, everything's in there. Quite easy to catch a knock that can wound you. And you see he's having treatment on the left thigh. Well, surely Jonathan Davies will take a gift, 2 points. See the knee of the Welsh player. It's Adrian Hadley. The weight of him is a big fella. A lot bigger than that man, Morven Edwards. A dead leg, and I think it might be pretty serious too.
Looks it, he can hardly walk. And he will go off, will Morven Edwards. And it's Jason Williams who will come on and replace him. And a bit of a reorganisation for the New Zealanders and Howie Tamati, because they've lost their full-back. And Morven Edwards is in some discomfort as he is led off this Vetchfield pitch.
Well, it looks as though the New Zealanders will have to move. They'll probably drop Daryl Halligan down to the full-back position from the wing.
Meanwhile, Jonathan Davies kicks another 2. And it's 3 points again, the gap, that's all. Hold on to your hats for a big last 10 minutes.
Yeah, it looks that way to me. The substitute, Jason Williams, has gone out onto the left wing.
Seven and a half to go. Williams is on. And we'll see now just how much fitness they've had time to develop in the Kiwi squad in this first week of their tour. It's a good one for the Welsh to win now. And you can rest assured they'll be trying all they know. Bateman and Devereux. And he tried to get Sullivan away. That's 3 times in this second half that they've tried to release Sullivan down the touchline. It's not come off for them.
It never really was on, though. Sean Hoppy was going ball and all tackle. Interference there. They took the gamble. Sullivan no chance to accept that. There's been a few costly mistakes from both sides, but Wales, I'm afraid, they've been punished severely for theirs.
Sean Hoppy scored the try in the far corner after the last mistake. Mackey's pass inside goes to ground. Bateman comes up with it gratefully for the Welsh. Here's Mark Jones. Well, he hasn't broken the New Zealand resistance in defence as he did so often in the past for Wales in their previous internationals, but plenty of handling errors on show from both sides.
Well, I can't remember a Welsh forward making any break really down the middle, and it just goes to show you that this Kiwi pack is very strong.
Here goes Davis. Now he gets the ball to Sullivan. Sullivan, well, Davis was saying kick it forward and he'll chase. In the end, Sullivan passed it inside. Ellis, it's a last hurrah for Wales here now. The Vetsfield crowd urging their players on. In possession with Ackerman, who since he's come on has run as strong as any of them. Last tackle for the Welsh. Griffiths to Davis. The bomb's hoisted again, this time they're onside. Hoppy's there, Devereaux's there, Sullivan's there. They tackle him behind the line, drop out underneath the Kiwi sticks.
What a great kick and what a great take by the Canberra player, Sean Hoppy. It's very difficult when you've got your back to the advancing side, but he kept calm and cool and collected, and that really could turn the game. It was a magnificent kick from Jonathan Davis.
5 minutes to go here at the Vetsfield then, and the distance is just 3 points. New Zealand 22, Wales 19. And the Welsh coming forward again with 4. He's fooling everybody. Now, did he use John Devereaux then as a shepherd? The referee gives him the benefit of the doubt. Mark Jones. Griffiths is the acting halfback. This is Ellis. Now Davis. Hadley. Good tackling.
Well, that looked like a shepherd to me. You could see Freeman appealing to the referee.
They get the ball away, they keep it going, and Griffiths dabbed the ball forward and then was felled. It was Pongia, I think, and then...
Oh, that was a high tackle from Jonathan Davis.
Came in with a high one. A high tackle on Halligan.
Oh, Halligan has gone back into the full-back position. Felt that one. Frustration showing through. You'll see it on the replay quite clearly. Bang. But just before there, let's look how Griffiths put the ball through. Definitely a shoulder charge there from the second rower, Quinton Pongia. But a good position by the referee, John Connolly. He would have none of it. Well, a lot of controversy at the end of this game.
So now then, the New Zealanders in possession with Robert Peaver.
Been a great fight back, you know, this by the Welsh side. At a time early in that second half when New Zealand looked as though they were taking control, they clawed their way back.
You might have noticed that the New Zealanders have made a change here. Logan Edwards has come on, the 15 for the loose forward. Mackie, meanwhile, let's watch this bomb, and Ford took it well, but then he ran. Well, he ran right into the wrong part of the field, didn't he? Took it well and then ran and was tackled behind his own line.
Well, I think perhaps he might thought that he could have got away with it, seeing that perhaps he might have defused the bomb, but he wasn't going to kid the officials.
Tackled by Jonathan Griffiths. There's the substitute, he's on, Logan Edwards. Dwayne Mann. The Welsh need the ball back and quickly. Freeman, Pongia. The good run from Pongia. Rapati, the dummy half. To Stewart. Still going, Stewart looking round the shoulder, looking for support, it's not there. The sands of time running out for the Welsh. Less than 2 minutes to go. Edwards, the substitute, on. It's the 5th tackle. Will we see a drop goal? Well, no, they've given the ball away. Namu, but was there interference? There was. It's a penalty to New Zealand, and that could be it. Because surely Halligan will kick for goal from here.
Well, Namu tried to get away with it there, but Jones wasn't really interfering in my book. He was just trying to get back on side. And Namu tried to just get it over the ball, hit the head of the prop forward. There's David Young. Look, there you see David Young trying to turn him round, getting away from it. And the young Namu just rolled the ball on the top of his head and got away with it. Now, there was no interference there from David Young. Never moved his head.
Well, Halligan doesn't miss them from here. Even though it's now raining in Swansea, the heavens have suddenly started to open. But Halligan won't miss this. Put your mortgage on it. And that's probably the match for the New Zealanders. It's been a tale of the men with the big boots, Davis and Halligan. And Halligan looks like he might have just kicked New Zealand to victory.
It's been a highly competitive game. It's been tough. And some real crunch tackles out there. One thing that has stood out quite clearly, it's going to be very difficult to take on the Kiwis in the forwards. They have a very strong defence in the middle of the park.
Well, we're in stoppage time, and I can tell you there might be quite a bit of that. This is Devereux from the kickoff. It's come up for the Welsh there. Short, shallow kick, and Devereux has it. Now, this is a golden opportunity for the Welsh, providing the time doesn't beat them. The distance between these two sides is 5 points. Davis gives it to Bateman. Bateman gets it away to Ellis. They're still going, the Welsh, but that's good defence.
It's so wet out there, the rain is pouring down. Get the boots. Anything can happen in these slippery conditions.
Bateman steps away from one challenge, tries to cut in field because he knows a try in the corner perhaps won't be enough. Devereux directs the traffic and goes right. Davis on his own through. So close. Last tackle for Wales. Griffiths shaped to kick, releases the ball to Jones. Jones trying to barge over, and they haul him down. But the Welshmen there were so close.
Well, they took the wrong option in my book. They tried to go one out instead of getting that ball on the ground, a little boot. In these slippery conditions, it can come off anything. And more so.
There's the full-time siren, a day of disappointment for Wales. But what a